There's a price war going on in China, like a massive price war. Tesla have just reduced their prices again. BYD have reduced their prices 3 times over the past 6 months for almost every model. Incredibly affordable. But then we've got all the other brands, right, that you probably haven't heard of. Many of them I'm sure you have, though. NIO, XPeng, Aeon. I mean, there's a literal price war going on. XPeng's CEO called it a bloodbath. But the Chinese government, they just said yesterday that there is an EV glut that is about to spark the most intense price war we've ever seen. This isn't even coming from me. This is the Chinese government basically sounding the alarm. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. It's great to see you. This year, EV sales have hit 50% in China. Now, of that 50%, yes, not all of those are fully electric. Some of those are plug-in hybrids. That doesn't include hybrids, but it does include plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars. A high percentage are fully electric. But anyway, the point is here that consumers, they are moving away from legacy brands and they're buying Chinese vehicles, Chinese brands much more instead. This is massively terrible news for General Motors, for Ford, for Toyota, for Nissan, for basically most Japanese car companies, Honda, for Volkswagen as a group. Most of these companies, not all of them, most of them though, make the majority of their profits from China. You know, I've had this argument with people online because very few people know this. Very few people know that historically Volkswagen has sold 40% of their total cars worldwide in China, but made 50% of their total profit that they make worldwide from China. Now that's changed recently because Volkswagen has lost a lot of market share to BYD predominantly, so have all legacy auto manufacturers. But, I mean, the shiz is about to hit the fan, literally. Chinese consumers, they don't really want electric cars. Most of them don't want electric cars from legacy auto. They think that they're not as good. Whether or not that's true, it's not really the point. That's what they think. But the National Development and Reform Commission expects more than 110 electric vehicle models to launch this year, among 150 new vehicles debuting in 2024, intensifying competition to the point, to possibly to breaking point. Now keep in mind, car sales in China this year are down on last year. There is some concern that the Chinese economy is in trouble. And a lot of these legacy automakers are just dumping cars on the market at ridiculously low prices. Look at the Toyota BZ4X. You can get one now for $20,000. There's no way Toyota aren't losing huge amounts of money on selling that car for $20,000. But even then, they're not selling. And it's about to get even worse. Xiaomi just got 100,000 orders for their SU7. Toyota could only dream of getting 100,000 orders for any model. If that were happening for Toyota in China, they would be like going to the lottery and putting something on, I don't know, going to the casino and just celebrating like all their Christmases that come at once. This is not happening for legacy automakers anymore. They're not getting big pre-order numbers. There's no interest in their vehicles. But China's state planner has said they expect an even more intense price war among producers of electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids this year because of overhanging supply, among other issues, said the government. And if this is the case, if EVs made in China continue to come down in price, they're already as cheap as internal combustion vehicles. If they continue to come down in price, which they could, as the Chinese government says they will, then how do legacy automakers compete with that? You just can't. There's no way that they can compete. They're going to have to just do what Mitsubishi have done, what Jeep have done. Just basically leave. And I think that's likely to happen within the next few years. The National Development and Reform Commission expects more than 110 new vehicles, 110 new models, right? There is about 80 different Chinese electric car brands operating in China right now. That's not even including legacy automakers. The NDRC estimates market demand for new energy vehicles, including EVs and plug-in hybrids, will grow by 2.1 million units this year. But BYD, Aito, and Li Auto, the top 3 NEV brands, plan to increase their combined deliveries by 2.3 million. So those 3 car companies are saying that they're going to provide more supply than the growth will be, particularly BYD. In other words, what are all the other car manufacturers going to do? Falling battery costs. Battery prices have come down by 50% over the past 12 months, and economies of scale will be the other two main reasons for huge price cuts on EVs and plug-in hybrids, which will range from around 5 to 20% this year in, numerous different Chinese cities, says the Chinese government. BYD and Denza cars have been leading the price cuts with reductions of up to 20%. Tesla, they just lowered their prices. Now, there's so much news here going on. I don't even report most of it because you guys will be a bit bored by this. Just what I'm going to do a video every single day. More price cuts here. Here's what the new price cuts are. Here's these cars. A lot of you haven't heard of the cars, so I don't actually talk about them. But it's happening almost every day. Li Auto cut prices on 4 of its models just last week. Tesla yesterday cut prices. BYD is cutting prices. BYD Tang today, they cut price on that. Not only that, but the Tang, they brought out a newer version. It's better. And then they cut the price on the same day. That's what BYD is doing now with every single model, improving it and reducing the price. If you're another car brand, if you're an established legacy automaker, how on earth do you possibly compete with that? Especially when BYD is the most vertically integrated company on earth. I mean, then Tesla, they're also very vertically integrated as well. And when you think of going and buying an electric car, do you think, oh, Toyota, yeah, I'll go there. Do you think, Honda, let's go see what electric cars they've got? You don't, and no one is. This is about to make things even more dangerous in China for these automakers. I still believe the Japanese automotive industry and the German, but more particularly the Japanese automotive industry, is in huge crisis. We just don't realize it yet. It's like that moment right before Kodak was, royally screwed. Thanks for watching.